What we do at MAA is we are making good drugs better. So what are the problems we are solving for the industry? So we are solving two major problems for pharmaceutical industry. The first problem that we are solving is that we are extending the patent life of the currently marketed medicines. And the second problem that we are solving is basically the molecules which are under the development and that failed in the preclinical stage or the clinical stage. So we use our technology and revive those molecules and take it to the market. So if you see the market size, in case of the marketed medicines, so 40% of the currently marketed medicines have the problem of the therapeutic inefficiency. And then also because of the therapeutic inefficiency of 80% of small molecules, this market becomes very, very big. And if you see for the patients that, when small side effects, food effects, variability, and dose response. And when those molecules are in the development, it also failed during the development because of the therapeutic inefficiency. So we solved these major problems. So what is the therapeutic inefficiency and why it happens in the very first place? So therapeutic inefficiency happens because of the poor solubility of the small molecules. And when it happens, it gives the suboptimal bioavailability. And what does that mean is that how much drug you are administering into the patients and how much drug that is available for the patients. That's what the bioavailability is, what percentage of drug is available for the patients. Then, because of the therapeutic inefficiency, you have a higher dose that needs to be administered to get the desired clinical effect. Then also, it causes the side effects, adverse effects, and adherence issues. And then it also causes in certain patient population the toxicity. And because of this therapeutic inefficiency, which leads to some subclinical results, and then also the failed drug development. And we got a solution. So how we solve it? So we take these small molecules, and we develop a unique formulation for those particular molecule, and then we have a patented process. And once we combine this unique formulation and the patented process, and we are able to get the new products for the pharma companies, whether through the current marketed medicine or those molecules which are under the development. And that creates the new revenue cycles for the pharma companies. And the medicine that we are creating, which are better than the currently marketed medicines. And it also extends the patent life and increase the revenue for pharma companies, and it revived the stalled development pipelines for the pharma companies. And that's how they make the money, and we have a technology to solve it. So how our technology works? So on the left-hand side, we have micron-sized particles, and these micron-sized particles are the size of particles that are currently used in the pharmaceutical industry for making the medicines. We use proprietary formulation and then patented process. Once we combine these two, we create the unique nanoparticles, which is scalable, and it has a sufficient shelf life to make the medicine. And that's what the beauty of this technology is. And once we make these nanoparticles, we do the polymer coating of these nanoparticles as well, so that we can extend the life of these nanoparticles, because that is the major challenge in the case of nanoparticles, because there are so many universities and companies are working on the nanoparticles, but either they cannot be scaled up, or the shelf life of those nanoparticles are not long enough so that the new medicines can be made. Once we do that, then basically it is ready for making the medicine in any dosage forms, like tablets, capsules, suspension dosage forms, creams, ointments, you name it. And in addition to this uniqueness of this nanoparticle technology, this is built on a continuous manufacturing platform, which makes it 35% less expensive and 50% faster than the batch process. And batch process is the process which is currently used in the pharmaceutical industry. So we are in the life science business, so we have to develop patents. So that is the only way to protect our new products. So we have a three-fold patent protection. First one is through the platform technology. So the platform patent basically is a process patent, which is the first layer where we create these unique nanoparticles. And then once we create these nanoparticles, then we create the unique products. We file the patents on those unique products as well. And then some of the things that we keep as a trade secrets, we never publish those things so that our competitors cannot copy easily what the products we are working on. To just summarize this, our nanocon technology is a scalable technology. So what we have done so far is we have worked at a very small scale, and then we have worked at very large scale as well. So where, in the matter of few days, we can make millions and millions of unit dose, like in tablets, capsule, or other dosage forms as well. When we are creating these new drugs, it has a meaningful clinical difference for the patients, and that is the reason pharmaceutical companies are interested in this type of technology. It has a wide application, and wide application means this platform technology is applicable to different therapeutic areas like oncology, cardiovascular, CNS, you just name it. And then it's a very large market opportunity because the 40% of the currently marketed drugs has a potential to improve the clinical efficiency, and then 80% of those struggling development molecules can be revived so that patients will have a new medicine for the different treatments, and then also pharmaceutical companies can open up the new revenue stream. And that is all. Thank you.
All right, it's weird. Aqueous Solubility is the name of my Frank Ocean cover band. That's really a weird coincidence. All right, questions about cutting-edge nanotechnology. We've got one right here in the back. Coming your way.
Thank you. So it kind of sounds like you are selling this process as applicable to all kinds of drugs. So what work does your company do to take into consideration the formulation process for a specific drug target?
So the drug that we are working on, basically it can be of any dosage forms. So what we do, basically, it is not one size fits all approach. So when we develop the formulation, the first and the foremost thing that we look for that what is basically the target route of delivery, and what is the dosage form that we are working on, and what therapeutic areas we are working on. And then we develop the formulation and the process to keep those things in mind. Does that answer your question?
Now my mic's on. The question for those watching online is it a specific formulation or is it a process?
It is both, because based on the FDA's QBD approach, so any new drug that you are working on, because if you are looking for the fixed efficiency at the end, you have to have a variable formulation and the process approach as well. And once you combine that you can basically achieve your target. So it's both.
All right, next question coming back here at the blue sign.
Anjani, right here. So, two questions. The first one is, do you have any proof of concept data on your technology? The second one is, what is the regulatory pathway once you have this process and formulation going through tablets and syrup or whatever? Do you need to go through the big clinical trials or how that works?
Yes, so far we have generated data on 5 different drugs, but mostly in oncology space, and we have formulation data and the analytical data, and in vitro data, and then also we have animal data. And what we have seen so far, that when we compare with the marketed formulation, we have been able to increase the efficiency of those molecules up to 10 times in the small animal. To answer your second question, that with this formulation approach and the process approach that we are looking at, we are going to target through 505(b)(2) route. We have looked at some of the other companies, that's how basically they have traveled through this path. So that's what we are going to take the approach.
All right, next question over here to your right.
Have you guys had any success with new drug applications and getting approvals on companies that have struggled for getting drugs approved, or drugs that have lost their therapeutic effect, where you guys came in and brought the chemical entity back to life by applying your technology?
So far, we have not done that work in the lab, but we are currently discussing that with one of the major pharmaceutical companies. They have a molecule which has failed in the preclinical testing, and they have done the technical due diligence on our technology, and together we are saying that there is a possibility that we can help them revive that molecule and help them pass the preclinical and clinical testing. So they are coming to see us in July, and they are basically a European-based company.
And now we've got our last question over here.
My understanding of FDA is that they only approve drugs that are efficacious and safe with a balance. Your claim is 40% of the marketed drugs are inefficient.
Mm-hmm.
So is FDA is doing a bad job, or the pharma company is doing a good job?
It is really a good question. You know, that's what we expect all the time from the FDA, that whatever is in the market, it is basically the 100% efficient. But when the new drugs are approved, what FDA does is look at the benefits and the risk associated with that molecules. The moment that drug basically, the benefits that patients will be getting outweighs the risk, FDA approves it. Like, so let's say if for 100% efficiency, if FDA is saying it is a 50% benefit and 45% risk, most probably FDA will approve that drug. So we are working in that 45% space, how we can basically improve that efficiency to, let's say, 70%, 80%.
Please give it up for Dr. Anjani Jha.
Thank you.